Welcome to Bad Playstyle.
Hey!
I'm the largest host. I'm Matt.
I'm Owen.
I'm still Conky Bong.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
Okay, so this not working. Whatever.
We still haven't worked out the time frame on that, have we?
Nope, we never figured it out.
Okay.
So welcome to our book club style podcast here at Very Very Spaceship.
Yeah.
Aaron, say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey.
That's we call him Podcast Daddy. So if you hear
Podcast
that nomenclature, that's what we're referring to. So this week on the book club style podcast,
That's us.
that's called Bad Playstyle. That's us. We played a game. What game did we play?
We played a game called Void Bastards.
It's
Okay.
behind us right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
in it.
We're in the cool room.
So we played Void Bastards. That was my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why did we do that?
Why did we do that?
Yeah. Yeah, why would you do that?
Why
to
would
us?
you do that to us?
We because I have a crush on Kara Ellison. No, that's not why. It's no, because I heard good things about the game. We were talking to Aaron, and he was saying it's a good game, and it's been on my radar ever since I saw it on like a Steam. One of them you click through and it shows a bunch of games to
The
you
Steam
that it
queue.
thinks you do. The Steam queue. It
Yeah,
showed
one of
it
the
showed me on my
long-forgotten
Steam queue,
features.
and it was like a rogue light that's in space. And Bastards is in the name, and I was like, "It's about prisoners. I'm all about it."
They put swears in the name.
Oh,
Mhm.
they swears.
Yeah, it's very edgy.
Also, we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna spoil this game. There's really not that much to spoil.
There's not that
though.
much to spoil.
I mean, like, you could spoil its charm.
There's some gameplay stuff to spoil, but not really like storyline stuff to spoil.
Yo, we got a sneaky dude in this footage. He's sneaking around.
Well, you're supposed to sneak around in this game.
Apparently, that's where I went wrong early on.
I also
talk
did it
about
very wrong.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Nobody told me it was a sneaking mission.
There's a couple of things we need to do. Hey, Owen.
Yeah, what's up, my dude?
I heard that you refunded a game on Steam recently.
Oh, yeah. I bought Watchdogs 2 and played it for 56 minutes. And I was very charmed by the character customization and by like almost nothing else.
Okay.
So I refunded it, and I have $13 in my Steam wallet, and I'm probably going to spend it in a really stupid way.
I did that like a year and a half ago when that game came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we look up my time, it's probably close to the same.
Did you refund it?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's in there.
Yeah. I have like very poor impulse control, though, so I'm probably going to spend it on like PUBG cosmetics or
Hell
something.
yeah.
There was like a jacket you were looking at, right?
Yeah, the Zest jacket and the Zest scarf are items I've had my eye on for a long time.
That sounds like pizza toppings.
It's like really tacky disco clothes. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Zest jacket's a red kerchief you wrap around your neck. It's pretty great.
The Zest jacket is
Or,
not.
I'm
a
sorry,
red
the Zest
kerchief.
scarf.
I don't.
My words. Yeah. We're good.
It's like a brown calfskin jacket, but the lapels are huge, and they have these like rainbow
Yeah.
stripes coming up the lapels. It's very tacky.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And then there's like a red kerchief you can get too. But I might get something else. Who knows?
Well, that concludes the part of the podcast where we air stupid things. we
Oh
do.
yeah. That's the reason we brought that up. This is a bad thing I did.
Yeah. I didn't have any shame because I didn't have any money.
Bought something stupid on the Steam sale.
Yeah, if you're broke,
If you're
can't
broke, you
do
can't
anything
shame
stupid.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of impressive.
Yeah. So, hey, what games have we been playing lately?
I've been playing more Dead by Daylight. That's been great.
Tell us about that.
It's 4v1 killer. Like, what do you want?
I don't know. Like, what have you been doing?
I've been playing more Chainsaw Guys, and I like them a lot.
So, like,
both
Leatherface
Leatherface and
Billy.
Hillbilly.
Yeah.
And those are two completely different play styles. Because with Leatherface, you get right up next to them and then start your chainsaw. And Hillbilly's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Hillbilly, you're like, I'm going to charge across the map with a chainsaw out and maybe crush someone on the other end. So those are very different moods, but you're still chainsawing people.
Sure.
And then the other thing that got its hooks into me, besides the game we played, is I played a lot of that stupid team fight tactics mode in League.
The auto chess that
The
they have
auto
there?
chess that they
Yeah.
made. And,
All right. Well, stupid is a strong word.
I don't like RNG.
Defend-
and so,
defend-
Okay,
yourself.
no, that's fine. That's
like,
defend
fine.
yourself.
Like, I like being able to apply my skill set instead of
Sure.
just, I guess I got the good stuff this time.
I mean, I've been playing a lot of Dota Underlords, so
Yeah.
I
It's
haven't been
addictive
playing
as-
the League flavor of it, but
It's addictive as hell.
yeah, it
Like,
really is.
it's a hell of a
Does
drug.
Underlords have positioning elements?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the same.
All right.
It doesn't have the same buying phase where you're like you have to actually go out and grab the item.
That's like the bullshit part in League.
Yeah, right.
Apparently, there's like tech with that where you can like block people from getting anything if you're good enough at
And then the game just
mechanics.
gives you random bullshit.
Yeah.
That part sucks.
Yeah.
I would rather have full control over like what my
God damn it.
economy and what I'm buying. And
Am I gonna install Dota just so I don't have to do that?
How many of these
Yeah.
fucking auto chesses are there going right now?
2.
there are
Way more than 2.
three,
3?
Yeah.
4.
Well, because there's
Or?
there's a Valve one, right? Then,
Yeah.
Then there's the actual auto chess people who broke off and made their own game, right?
Correct. Yeah, there's
I
a
didn't
mobile
know.
version of that.
Then there's the League of Legends one. There's more, right? There's got to be.
I think there's another one coming.
This is like the new
Maybe?
Gold Rush,
Yeah.
like Battle Royale out.
Yeah.
Auto chess.
I mean,
in.
it beat Hearthstone.
yeah.
Like everyone from Hearthstone that was a pro player jumped off to go play some flavor of auto chess.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is that Blizzard will do it 2 years from now and then fire everyone a year after?
Yes,
Are you
absolutely.
you telling me the winter sale is going to be like it was card games last year and it's going to be auto chess games this year?
We're not that saturated yet,
Okay.
and also they're all free to play.
Okay, but still.
So I guess it'd be like packs of fucking coins or
Yeah,
something. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Slay
Yeah.
the auto chess.
Ooh, hello.
Did
Okay, interesting.
you see? Oh, dumb things I love.
What is Slay that? What is?
Slay the Spire is a card
Oh,
game
okay.
that
Yeah,
works
yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah,
similarly.
yeah.
Someone made a full mod for Slay the Spire that's Sailor Moon as fuck, and it's amazing.
Okay.
It's worth
Interesting.
looking into.
Sounds all right.
It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
My wife is listening. She's probably very interested.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
it's rad.
I mean, I personally am a big
I've-
fan of Sailor Jupiter.
I haven't played that, but it's a thing.
Right.
What else have we played? Because we have way off topic here.
No, but so you're done talking about things?
Yeah,
you played?
it's RNG, and
Okay.
it's, you sometimes get it and you sometimes don't.
Sure.
And me being the person I am, sometimes I have issues with that, but I don't stop.
So any longtime listener of the podcast, which is now
There's like 5 of you.
broadcast,
Yeah.
We're television stars now.
Yeah, I really don't like the. I'm used to like watching myself,
Mhm.
but watching myself live is I don't want to be doing it.
Having the feed there with the video game looping, I have a bad problem when I'm in bars with televisions in my field of view.
Yeah.
So I find myself on my own podcast becoming distracted watching a gameplay loop of a game I've already finished.
Yeah.
And I feel very stupid. I feel like I've maybe not participated in the conversation as much as I should have because I keep.
No, you're here. It's cool.
It's like off a couple seconds too, so it really reminds me of that like Japanese riot control device that plays the sound back at them like a quarter second after they say it, so they can't finish any sentences.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, you can download their apps for that on your phone.
Sometimes
Yeah,
my
really.
phone does that to me at work, and I hate it.
Speech jammers.
But it's like really hard to speak if you're hearing yourself speak a couple,
Yeah,
it's rough. Milliseconds after. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about games I played. Right. So
Yeah. What did you play?
I play Warframe a lot. People who listen to the podcast for a long time will know that. Everyone in this room will know this. I don't know if Aaron knows this. Okay, he's shaking his head. Yes. Yeah, right. So I play. Well, yeah, you're my Steam friend, so of course you see the fucking
Yeah.
notification a lot. But
Surprise.
TennoCon just happened, which is the like convention that's just for Warframe, which is still super weird to me that like this single game has a convention.
Quake has one.
I know like Quake has one, but like I get it, but I just like I've never watched those streams. I've never been into it, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. But it's like seems weird to have a multiple day convention for a single video game. Whatever.
I mean, Eve has one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's you're not you're not refuting my point that it's weird. You're just saying that this happens.
These
a
are
lot,
all weird
right?
games that were named.
I'm not saying
That's
it's weird because it's uncommon. I'm saying it's fucking weird that you're having a convention for a video game because that's not a thing that I imagine being possible. But anyway, because that happened, there are a bunch of like hype announcements that happened. So a bunch of my friends have been playing Warframe, so I've been playing that. But yeah, I'm done talking about that now.
Can we talk about Warframe's login for a second?
Yeah, I mean you can.
It IP locks out your account when you fuck your password up too much for like 24 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So I spent like a week and a half not being able to get into the game because I'd reset it and the server wouldn't catch my reset in time before I locked it, and it was bad.
Good God.
Yeah, it sounds really dumb.
I'm logged in now. It's good, but it took me like literally 7-8 days to get it right.
But last night we did a thing, and this morning we did the thing.
Yeah.
Which was Payday2 VR.
Well, I didn't play it in VR.
No, but I mean, like you were there.
Yeah.
So, Owen, before we move into us talking about how fun it is, I want, because I haven't experienced this. What does it look like from the outside? What does my character look like?
It doesn't animate. So, like, for those just joining us, Payday 2 is a team co-op shooter. It's Left 4 Dead but bank robbers. So when I see, oh yeah,
you did it.
So in the game, when you see the other players, they mostly animate the way they normally do, and it's like just their from their elbow to their hands and their head like a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, playing Payday 2, I really wasn't watching you that much because there's lots of heads you have to shoot.
Right.
But
there was like a
playing that
specific moment
whack-a-mole.
where I walked up to you and I was like, "Watch this."
Yeah, and you were
Right.
like doing this.
Okay. So my guy was like locked in the normal pose and his arms were just moving.
Yeah,
funny?
it was mostly their normal animations. It seemed
Yeah.
like, but
I feel like that's where you cut the corners. Not going too ham on the animations.
yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. Payday's always done.
Yeah.
It's just cut out animations.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. I strapped Keenan into my machine gun turret person build this morning.
You're a
and
machine gun with a sword.
I threw him into Hoxton Breakout. And
Okay.
he was on Mayhem, which is one difficulty.
No, it was overkill.
It was Overkill?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Because they added a new difficulty, right? It's like
They added a bunch of new difficulties.
normal, hard, very hard, overkill, death wish.
There's Mayhem.
Mayhem.
Yeah, Mayhem, Death Wish,
Mayhemier.
and then the whatever the last one is. I
Okay.
don't remember.
Moon's over mayhem.
Anyway, we did that. It was fun. Keenan, you want to talk about it at all? Do you want to talk about it at all?
It'd been like a hot minute since I was in VR at all, so that was cool. Walking to the car on the way here was really.
He said he was
the
having
world
trouble,
was a conveyor
trouble
belt.
walking.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I really liked how weirdly well the Payday VR works. Like, you're dropped into the game in a VR context, but then like I know all the visual language of that game.
Because you've already played it.
Right, and so
Right.
I'm just like, cool, I'm going to point at that guy and he's going to die. I'm going to point at that guy and he's
Oh
going to
yeah,
die.
like
and,
we as a group have spent like hundreds of hours playing
Yeah,
Payday 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I think
not Aaron, but
Yeah.
everybody in the
I
room.
think like
He's not allowed.
none
in
of
the
us
game.
are
One
under
whole
500
hour.
hours, right? Like
what's that, Aaron?
1 whole hour
1 whole hour.
of Payday 2.
That's
Yo.
like 2,000 hours in Aaron language because he's always busy.
Guys, did we find our
Yeah.
fourth?
Shit, I wonder how much my Dota time is worth then, because I have
Yeah, I was-
3,500
I
hours.
was
in
literally
Dota.
about to say
It's
that.
it's like 4,000 years.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
boy.
Yeah.
like 200,000 hours.
I mean,
So-
like, I remember I messaged you one time. I'm like, yo, why are you playing Adobe Photoshop? And you're like, I had to name Dota something else to feel better. And I was like, damn, okay. Yeah, it's rad.
Yep.
So yeah, Payday, like, it was nice being in all these familiar environments, and then the only thing I had to do was like, how do I control this, right? Like, and then we were talking about this in the car on the way over. My brain doesn't know how to look at a VR controller diagram and make my hands just do it.
Right. We were talking about how the entire time you're in a VR, you're never looking.
You
at
can't
the
look at the
controller.
controller,
Right.
Like,
whereas with like a console, you see that controller diagram and you immediately
Yeah.
look at the controller because it's in your
It's
hand.
definitely like the most tedious thing about owning a Vive. So like when you own a Vive or any VR headset, it is your responsibility in your friend group to have everyone come over and use it so everyone can try it or whatever. And so then you get to be the person who teaches everyone to use it and talks everyone through using the controllers when they can't see their hands, which is like the most annoying part. It's like,
yeah,
especially since none of the Vive buttons, like there's triggers and that's distinct, and then there's a big touchpad that's also a button, and then there's just other buttons, and it's like, yeah, press the button that's above the touchpad, I think.
squeeze it,
Yeah. No, the one on your other hand.
squeeze it.
You know, like
No, your other hand.
Yeah, your third hand, squeeze it. Yeah, but like the fact that that game translates like that quickly into that is cool. And then I didn't realize how much I'm so used to controller diagrams in my hands, just know where things are. So that like took a minute. And then even then I was like, Matt, how do I? And you'd be like, do this. And then I'd be like, cool. And like, a lot of the inventory control in Payday is that you look down, and then the way you pick stuff up is like radial menus.
There's
on
like
your
a
hips.
waistband, yeah.
okay.
And so like
I was just thinking about that because you basically you have a use button. You have a like I'm talking about like when you're just normally playing Payday. You have
Yeah.
a use button. You have the button for your class ability.
Yeah.
and then you have like your weapons, like your guns and you
your
have 2
gear.
guns and a melee weapon.
And your grenades.
Oh, in your grenades.
And then whatever your droppable is.
Yeah, well, that was my.
Yeah, so all of that's, if you look
Class
straight down, all of that's radial menus that like hover around your character's hips.
Well, no, because there's class abilities in the perk decks now,
Oh, is there?
which require buttons.
Oh.
You didn't play when these were in the game, but there's like a guy who drinks a flask, and there's a dude who throws a smoke grenade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
It's the Sicario and the stiff upper lip or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, there's stuff in that game we haven't experienced.
Yeah.
Kind of cool to be in like a VR comfort zone now.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
neato.
I think the game looks better in VR than it ever did.
Really.
On
Yeah,
a
the
monitor.
perspective does it some favors.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
I
a way
found
that's pretty cool.
in my experience playing games that were adapted to VR later, like look not so great. Like they're
It's just the textures are allowed to be as big as they fucking want to be. You know?
all right.
It's like,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
And like
oh,
movement.
also, him playing Hux and Breakout, it got me an armor skin, so now my guy looks like he's like directing planes.
yeah, he's
I'm
wearing
in like caution tape shit.
he's
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
like high vis
Yeah.
tack
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah. I was about to say.
It's fucking great.
great.
He's got the like yellow reflective strips and the orange.
That's fantastic.
It's real
That's
good.
And then so beyond that,
If your video game cosmetics aren't dumb, we don't want them.
I did
That's a fact.
yeah. Some Void Bastards, but then recently I apparently know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy,
Oh,
and I was a
shit.
juror for Seattle Indies Expo.
Oh, cool.
And I played 5 games and then some more games.
Can you talk about them?
Yeah, I'm about to. I'm trying to remember because there was all kind of a slurry.
No, but I mean, like,
Are you not
legally.
under NDA?
Yeah,
I
is there no
don't
NDA?
think so. I mean, I think I can talk about what I did, right?
Sure, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how
don't
6
know.
works.
Whatever.
They got their own thing.
No, I played. So the most interesting one I saw was this game called A Sound Plan, where it's got sort of a Bomberman look to it. Like imagine a Bomberman arena, but there's less stuff in it. And there are usually 1 or 2 zombies in the arena with your guys, and your guys can run, throw rocks, dig up rocks from the sand, and sound attracts the zombies.
No,
And so the idea is you're trying to use sound to attract the zombies to
the other
other
players.
people, so that the
Sure.
zombies eat them.
So you're like throwing rocks near them or whatever.
Yeah, or
Okay.
like throwing rocks at them,
Sure.
right? And that was really fun. There was like a multiplayer asteroids game, but there was 10 metric tons of information on every single screen we were trying to play on, so I had no idea what was happening at any given time. And there was multiple control schemes, and I didn't know that, and I selected the wrong one, and so I had a very bad experience playing that
That's
game.
unfortunate.
It was
'cause-
called like Stelloroids or Astelloroids or something like that.
Yeah, because that sounds like they're just suffering in their testing environment.
Yeah, I had
and
a
not,
a
like-
bad experience with that one, but it seemed like a sound game.
Just missing some information.
Just missing some stuff. There was a game called Garden Story, which looked really cool. You're playing a bunch of like fruits and vegetables in like a Harvest Moon-esque environment.
Okay.
That game seemed fun. There was a VR game that I played where it's anime sword fighting. And you get to, you have 2 swords, like 1 sword in each hand, and if you do this motion, like if you slash both of them forward, it's called Sword Reverie, the anime game was.
Okay.
If you slash both of them forward, you shoot out a Draven ult,
Okay.
which is
Alright.
like two.
What meaning is Draven?
I
ult?
was gonna, it's these 2 spinning saw blades that like fly forward on the ground. What do you?
Do they come
what's
back?
happening right now?
Nothing. I'm trying to find a thing for a minute.
Oh,
that
okay.
I'm gonna need in a minute.
All
I'm
right.
listening to what you're saying.
Okay. And then there was you go like this, and it does like a big radial slash against everybody who's near you. And if you do like this, it like pops them up in the air. And I was like, more of that.
Yeah.
more
like
of that.
gesture specific.
Because you're supposed to, like, when you review the game, you're like, what is one thing you liked? What was one thing you hated? What was 3 things that you improved? And I was like, make the game faster so that I never have to stop doing those 3 moves. And then give me more moves. And then make this a character action game in VR.
more gesture control in VR.
Yeah, it was like, make this Devil May Cry in VR. Let's do that.
I was gonna say, is it DMC?
I mean, it should be, right?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the gameplay that I was playing was much slower. It was like much more like one enemy at a time sort of stuff. And I was like, give me a dash option.
Is this a finished game, or is this?
No, this is like an
something-
alpha.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, so what you need to do, like your controls work great. This is fantastic. This feels fun. I need to be doing these things like 10 times a second.
I wonder what like the
And-
allowable speed threshold for most people in VR is. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
I don't know, but you could do like Brigador does, where you have a speed adjuster.
yeah, I just
Right.
feel like DMC levels of like speed combat might get real rough in VR.
That sounds fun to me. I don't know.
I think but I don't know what like the nausea count on that is.
Yeah. Also, like you can't develop a game for like a subset of already an incredibly
Yeah,
small install base.
but I think you could, just like I was saying with the Brigador, you could add an option to select what
Yeah.
speed the game is even fucking running at, right? I think that would be really fun. So, I don't remember any of the other games I played, so
All
go
right.
for it, man.
Well, I only played like 2 games this whole time.
Okay.
I played PUBG,
We played a lot of
which
PUBG.
wouldn't be remarkable except they added an APC to the game.
Oh,
fuck.
nice.
They added an amphibious armored personnel carrier.
Yeah, we learned the hard way about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we
We were like, this thing's invincible. It's not.
So yeah. So you get it by finding a flare gun, and if
Oh,
you
just like the armored trucks, yeah.
yeah. So it's
It replaced
replacing
those.
that. They replaced the armored UAS with this, and if you're inside the white circle and you fire it, you get a care package, and if you're outside the white circle and you fire it, you get this amphibious armored 6-wheeled thing.
A BRDM.
Yeah, a BRDM, and it's actually like weirdly
A
quiet. It's very
Javier
bassy,
BRDM.
but you can't hear it from very far away.
Yeah, it's very
So
quiet.
it's ironically, it's like the stealth vehicle. You can sneak up on people.
You can
with
literally sneak up on people. It's kind of dumb.
it. And so Keenan and I were playing, and I popped this thing off, and I'm like, Keenan, we are not trying to win this game anymore. We're gonna get in this tank, and we're just gonna fuck with people
Rules
and
have
cruise
changed.
around. And like Keenan ran around, got a bunch of gas cans,
Yep.
so that like we just didn't
We're
have
not
to get out.
getting out.
Yeah. The first squad that we like really encountered, we showed them our whole ass, and they just
They knew
lit
things
it up.
we didn't about this vehicle.
Yeah, like it's not actually bulletproof in any meaningful way. It just has about 4 times the hit points of the Jeep.
And those
Um,
guys both had barills with heavy
Oh yeah,
bags
and we gave
didn't
them
care.
we gave them the perfect opportunity. Like we jumped over
Yeah.
one of the dudes and then like looped around trying to run him over as he's like
Yeah.
shooting at
You
us.
gave
And you
him
can't
you
shoot
gave
out
him
of
a
it.
real goat say.
Yeah, and you can't shoot out of it, which
Yeah.
is fucked up.
It's got like 3 doors
What kind
on
of
the top of
APC
it.
is that?
It's got 3 doors on the top of it that I should definitely be able to pop out and mow a dude
Yeah.
down from, but they don't function.
Yeah, and so then we're driving away, and it's not fast. It's a big lumbering thing.
Yeah.
So they friggin' lit it up.
They lit us on fire, and I freaked out and jumped out, and that
Yeah.
just fucked the whole
You
combat
shouldn't
up.
do that again. That was not a
Yeah,
winning
There's
strategy.
so many times when we've been playing PUBG that like somebody loses their nerve and exits the vehicle
not
and
the-
it gets
it's not the play.
everyone killed.
It's not the play. You gotta stay calm in PUBG.
Sean, if you're watching,
Sean, enemy of the
it's
show.
you.
So that was like super stupid and fun. Like
Yeah.
we had a great time. It has a little hatch on the back that slides. Look, I can do hand gestures and people can see it.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to apologize for it. It has this little hatch that pops open in the back, and there's a little propeller in there. It's very cute when you get in the water.
You're giving him so much power.
Is there even anyone in chat though? So.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, if I flipped you off, say something.
So I played that, and then I played Mario Maker because that came out 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because it came out the day
The Friday before the
we
last
did
time we
the- yeah,
recorded. Yeah. And that's been super great. I think they didn't change it very much from the first game.
They didn't need to.
Like there's stuff they have to do to put it on Switch, but
Well, and I think they added the right amount of new things in. It sounds like.
yeah, there's a lot of things from the first game that were really obvious that needed to be changed, and like almost none of them changed. So like, what are you gonna do?
I've heard good things about the new things, and also that there's a lot of empty space in the UI for more.
Yeah,
new
yeah.
things.
There's definitely that. I've made almost exclusively Super Mario World levels, and it's led to me.
That's the best one.
Yeah, it is the best one. It's led to me doing like a lot of sort of introspection on the way Super Mario World is designed.
Mm-hmm.
That like in Mario World, the first land you're in is Yoshi's Island,
Mm-hmm.
and like Yoshi is probably the most forgiving power up in the whole game. That like he gives you an extra hit, he gives you an extra means of hurting enemies, he gives you a higher jump if you need it. He it's the
Donkey punch jump.
it's the biggest.
He's like a big Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I don't want to call it
Yeah.
like a baby mode, but he's the most forgiving.
All the advantages.
power up.
He gives you like a mistake buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, and his levels are all designed for him to just gobble up stacks of enemies and things like that. And then like going, and so like I've been like, when I've been designing a lot of levels specifically around a power up or a pair of power ups to interact with its environment, which is like what's led me to think about this. Like the second land in Mario World, the donut plains, the first enemy you encounter is a guy who gives you a cape. It's the first cape you can get in the game, and you can use that cape to skip the entire level.
Right.
And that is like such an incredible feeling, and it makes me feel like that anytime I put a cape in a level, you have to be able to use it to skip the level if you want to.
Right. There's like a language to that
Yeah,
you've already.
like that's such a fun and cool.
I was trying to see the power up that he was getting in the.
Oh, got it.
So I made a bunch of levels. I was going to pull up one of their codes, but I couldn't find my code. I was going to read my code on stream. But you can watch a video on Very Very Spaceship's Mixer stream, and you can see one of my levels codes and one of my levels being played, or two. You guys played two of my levels, right?
Two of your levels.
Yeah.
Cool.
Go
So
check
I've
that
been playing a
archive.
ton of Mario Maker, and like I fucking love having it on a mobile Switch. Like I take it to work and during my lunch break.
Didn't you play it like when you're dead in PUBG too?
Yeah, I've been like kind of. I've been
Yeah,
like
a little
working
bit.
on levels like a little bit, but it's kind of hard to like work on a level for only 5 minutes and like keep your train of thought of what you were trying to do.
Right. I remember like there's so many times where I boot up like a Paradox game,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm like, oh, I'll load my old save and like continue, and you boot up, and you're like, I don't remember
Yeah,
any
if
of
you
the
didn't have
things.
a notepad
what were-
or like an Excel spreadsheet, you're
There,
fucked.
there was like 8 things that I was doing. I don't
Yeah.
remember any of them.
I
I
don't
don't care
remember
about.
any of the
I don't
things
have
I was
any
juggling.
feeling towards.
and
this
that
stuff.
happens like if you skip a day.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
But
like
it's been the perfect mobile game for me.
yeah.
Like my hour lunch break is like the perfect amount of time for it. And one of my friends who plays it the most works for the Seattle School District, and it's summer right now, so he just has all the time in the world to make Mario
Oh
levels.
yes. Should we say his name or no?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he'll be hitting me up in the middle of the day when I'm at work, and he's like, "Oh, when I put up a new level, you got to play my level." And it's like, dude, I can't. Yeah, I gotta wait till lunch. Like,
yeah.
it's a bad look for me to get this thing out while I'm on the clock.
Do you prefer the touch controls over the actual?
I did at first. I have one of those little rubber nibbed styluses, and I was using that for a while. But I got tired of taking it in and out of the dock to work on my levels.
Right.
So I honestly, I just got comfortable using the controller editor. Playing so it has a story mode, which the first game didn't have, right? And in the story mode, if you die on a level 3 times, it'll give you an option to like fuck with the level a little bit to like make it easier for you, because all the story mode levels exist really just to teach you different ways you can use construction elements in the game.
Yeah,
they're not actually very great levels if you're looking for a 2D Mario campaign. And the way you fuck with the level is a simpler version of the map editor interface. And so by playing through the entire story mode to unlock because it has some things locked behind the story mode, doing all of that got me comfortable with it to the point where like a lot of the time when I work on my levels, I just do it from the controller.
It is interesting that like the story mode has levels that you would never ever play in like a normal Mario game, where if you were playing a normal Mario game, everything would be engineered to be like a perfectly linear experience. And the story mode or like the tutorial levels that have always been in Mario Maker are just examples of things that you can do with
and there's no variety in them either. Like a story mode level will typically be one power up or one type of object used in all 10 of its use cases sequentially. You know,
right? Like it's a toolkit rather than a storytelling level.
Like this is the level where we teach you how you can get in a dry bones shell and float in magma, and you have to do a lot of like tight driving in the little dry bones boat,
right?
And that's it.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's even like a tutorial for like you're gonna play levels online, and this is how fucked these levels are gonna be online.
Look at all this fucked up shit people are gonna throw at you.
There's a dude who so there's a bunch of like Kaizo movement techniques in Mario that like most people don't or can't do.
Right.
Where like Mario's holding a shell and he runs and jumps against a wall, throws the shell rebounds off the wall, and then he bounces
you
off
jump
the
off
shell
the shell.
and grabs the shell afterwards.
Mhm.
And so you can do wall jumps in like Super Mario World where there aren't wall jumps.
This like crazy ass
Yeah,
technique.
and so it's like an assumed knowledge technique in like really hard Kaizo levels. And there's a dude who's making like a 101 series on how to play Kaizo, where like the only thing in the level will be like, you need to figure out how to do this one shell jump.
Yeah.
And then like,
he set up the fighting game lab.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Or like, this is why you want to spin jump a lot when doing Kaizo levels, because Mario's normal jump, the height of it depends on your pressure, on the button pressure, but a spin jump, Mario always jumps the exact same height.
Right.
oh, so there's more control to it.
Yeah, and so you can do it quickly
More
and always
more
get the same
consistent,
result. Yeah.
That's important.
Well, it's like we were talking about XCOM.
Yeah.
It was like anything that makes my character more consistent. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Right.
So like I've never had any interest in Kaizo stuff until now. Like this actually sounds kind of cool.
Right, like if someone like opens
Yeah.
the door to let you into it,
Yeah.
that's helpful.
Yeah.
Neat.
Anyway, Mario Maker 2, it's great. Play my levels.
Yes. Plays levels.
All right.
That's the games I played.
Yeah, sure.
To the game at hand.
Yeah, are we ready?
I think I'm ready.
Ready for this? Okay. What didn't you like about Void Bastards?
Yeah, Aaron.
Aaron, what didn't you like about Void Bastards?
I'll start off by saying I would give this game a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
No.
No, just hear me out.
No, because this
Yeah.
isn't how we do this.
I know it's not how you do it. Just hear me out. I have very few bad things to say about this game. I have one bad thing to say about this game.
Which is why we're starting with that.
Yes, I understand how it works. I didn't get the FTL feeling out of it. I didn't get the like I will play this from, I'll start at 10 p.m. and stop playing it at 4 a.m. I didn't get that feeling from it.
You didn't get that
at
like,
all.
holy shit, where'd that time go?
Right. I always felt like, okay, well, I got done with like 2 or 3 runs, or like I died once or twice, and I just don't feel like I'll come back to it later. That's fine. I'll come back to it later. That was really the only negative that I had about it.
What difficulty did you play at?
I don't know.
Okay, so normal.
I think yeah.
Right.
I think it's discrete goals break that up.
Sure.
Whereas in FTL, like there's one goal. Do it.
Well, so over time it became better because it was like, well, obviously you aren't as skilled, or you don't have as many items or whatever from the beginning, so you're dying more.
Mm-hmm.
And then that didn't make me feel like I wanted to continue as much as having more items did. So the play times became longer and longer over time, but starting out it was like,
The tech tree gives you the momentum.
Yeah, exactly.
I ran into that too. I didn't like the early part. I kept dying and feeling like, okay, well now I don't have any ammo to even deal with the threats. Like, like I ran into those problems.
Yeah, that definitely happened to me once or twice. Where like an early run, I spent all my resources dealing with
the one level
something, right?
Yeah.
And then I died, and I was like, cool, this next run is like fucked.
Yeah.
Like I have like no ammunition, and it was early enough in the game that I don't even have like a lot of other weapons to switch to.
Or even like before you get the like starter package fuel and food, right?
Mhm.
Like those early characters before they start with 3 food and fuel just fucking die left and right.
Mhm.
Like there's certain upgrades that if I'd known about them sooner, I would have prioritized them. I think that's where like the earlier levels with how simple the enemies are don't really prepare you for what the actual gameplay loop is.
Right.
So it's funny that you guys mentioned that you guys had trouble being gripped by the game early on, because I had the exact opposite problem. I dove into this game, it really grabbed me, and would not let me go for days at a time. And then when I finally finished the game, when I finished FTL, I was immediately like, let's go try one of the other ships. Let's play the game again. Let's try something new, right? But with this game, I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore at all when I finished it.
I feel like, so with FTL, they give you like very large high-level goals.
Yeah.
And Void Bastards doesn't do that. It gives you little chunks that you need to get to, and it just keeps moving you forward. And every time in FTL, it's like, okay, you know you have to go from point A to point B, but that's it. You just have point A and point B. There's nothing really in between. And Void Bastards just like keeps stringing you along. And if it's like, well, if you don't even make it to that first little chunk, then it doesn't feel as rewarding to continue, especially if you haven't unlocked that much. So it feels like you're just starting over from zero, but you take a bigger hit starting over from zero than you would in FTL, where you know, like, every time I'm going to start over from zero unless I have a brand new ship.
Right.
So I never, like, with the care packages and it giving me ammo, I never felt like, oh, fuck. Right? When I died, I was always like, all right, let's get back into it from the position of I need to be more conservative with my ammo now because I don't have as much. I never had that sort of sinking feeling of wanting to stop playing because I lost all my ammo, except for like one time when I had a ton of nebulizer ammo and I lost all of it, and I was like, oh, I can't use this bazooka anymore. Right? There was like one time where that happened. But it was like then it gave me like a bunch of kitty bots, and I had just upgraded them to shoot cluster flax everywhere. So I was like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
I never had that feeling that you guys were talking about.
So I want to stress that this really only happened in like maybe like my first 3 people.
Yeah.
Where it's really where I didn't have anything else to lean back on afterwards.
Right. Once I'd gotten a couple of those early upgrades,
Yeah.
which the game does a really good job of giving you the items you need for those early on so that you don't experience that situation for very long.
Yeah, it doesn't take long at all to get to like the next upgrade. I think pushes you along pretty far.
Right. Right.
And it doesn't take you long to get to that. It's just like, all right, you got to get through these first 2-3 deaths, and then
and then my problem is I wasn't approaching the game from like a progression standpoint for a while. So I wasn't looking at like what are my problems? What do I need to upgrade to deal with my problems? And then once I started, like, Matt, you walk up behind me at one point, like, you should buy that armor. That's really good.
Yeah, you should prioritize armor until it's asking you to go to a depth you can't handle.
Right. And so like just that comment like shifted my mindset on the upgrades in a way where I was like, oh yeah, I like those. I should use those more.
It was like the second
I was just playing dumb. Like
the second it gave me the locator beacon in the parts section where it's like you can highlight a specific upgrade that you're trying to build and it'll tell you where the next part that you need is. I was immediately like, oh, okay, you want me to like target upgrades? I think it's like a strategy,
right?
It's like a macro
it
strategy.
It gives you another goal on the way to the main goal.
Yeah, like you want me to go get this colon cleanser or this prophylactic and build like a gun out of it.
Sure.
So
as you do.
Yeah. Or this distended testicle.
I got one and I yelled from the other room, I got a distended testicle.
I'm sure our neighbors appreciated that.
Yeah.
He's right near the front door and there's no sound insulation on the front door. So if you're in the hallway and Keynan's playing video games, you can hear him.
Yeah, if I yell,
coming
you
down
hear me.
No, it's just talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just your normal talking
Awesome.
voice. I can hear you in the whole hallway.
I'm gonna swear more.
Yeah.
Good man.
Which is ironic because you're in a soundproof booth. You just never close it.
Yeah.
So
Yo, but like, fuck our neighbor kids. Like,
I don't think there's any kids in the hallway anymore.
Kids
but
suck.
So it sounds like all of you liked the game a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found myself like a really like middle temperature on this.
I think it grew on me a lot.
Like
I was definitely not
I
into
gave
it.
like this is like a solid 7 out of 10 for me. Like I enjoyed playing
Look what
it.
you've done.
Like I'll probably never touch it again.
Sorry, learned the format.
That's the thing I was just saying is that I don't think I'll ever go back to this game.
Yeah, I thought as I was approaching the end of the game, you know, like I remember thinking to myself like maybe I'll just like keep playing this and like not try and beat the game anymore. Just like, you know, just like go on ships and shoot people and like whatever. And as soon as I beat that game, like that thought just like evaporated in my head. I was like, nah.
I think it suffers from being so goal focused.
Yeah,
I think it also suffers from the environments and
the ships get a little monotonous.
It gets a little repetitive. The ships aren't very. There's only like 6 or 7 types of ships,
and they're all laid out.
And they're all laid out the
similarly,
exact. No, they're laid out pretty much the same with some slight variations.
You can even get to the point where it's like, all right, I know gas is going to be in the FTO. I know, like, just by the name of the item, you know which room you're going to find it in.
Yeah, and because all the ship layouts seem to have at least some sort of a logic to, like engines in the back, cockpit in the front, you know, like that kind of thing, like engines in the middle, or you know, subsystems in the middle, like because almost all of the ships follow that logic. Like that's just part of the in-universe thing. You put your helmet at the front. So like I know that the helm is always going to be the opposite end of the fuel, and that the helm is where I'm going to reveal all the items. And so it's cool that you can have that like little bit of mastery. You can learn about how to navigate a derelict ship, but it also means that like a lot of the derelict ships I see are going to be very similar to the last derelict ship I saw.
I think this game has that core gameplay loop of getting on the ship, getting to the spot you're trying to get to, and getting the stuff and getting off, right? And
I definitely found myself like moving forward more when I found a thing and left.
It's very addictive, that core gameplay loop, at least to me. But the whole game is focused around making that core gameplay loop fun, and it eventually gets old. One thing I was saying to Keynan is that, you know, all the weapons in this game, bar the weird fiddly like non-weapon weapons, like the thing that teleports people into itself, or the thing that makes them your bud, are all like Doom era, you know, FPS standards.
Yeah, what I found myself thinking of is like Unreal Tournament or something.
Yeah.
Like it really reminded me of those. Like the fact that you have like a poison dart gun and a cluster bomb launcher.
Well,
but I wasn't finished with my thought.
Yeah,
Hold
sorry,
on
go
one second. The reason that works for me though, because normally that wouldn't work for me, just having those bong standard weapons. The reason it works is because you have to earn having that weapon and using it, and you have to choose to use it, and you're like set with it. It's not like, oh crap, I forgot to get out the bazooka and use it on the big boss. It's like, no, there are screws on this ship, I'm bringing a nebulizer, right? Like, let's do it.
To me it was like, yeah, it just fits thematically. Like you can tell just by the art, the way that everything's laid out. It's like, yeah, that's exactly the kind of guns that you're going to find here. I mean, it might have been neat to find something that was a little bit more I don't know, more interesting than your standard weapons, but it's still, to me, it was like, yeah, this seems on theme.
Yeah, it's definitely the bill we were sold, right?
Yeah, totally.
This game is very Doom and Chex Quest,
right?
In its everything.
Every individual aspect is simple, but there's a lot of things layered on top of it itself. A lot of very simple systems, like in a big pancake stack. You know.
Well, and like Matt, you literally made like 2 comments on what I was doing, and it taught me like way more about the game, right? You were like, oh yeah, you can locate shit. Also, this item's good for that thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, it's all rock paper scissors, right? Like,
don't use a pistol on patients.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not good for you.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah. So like once I'd like figured out like, oh, these are the rules to the game, like it went fine. But it was definitely, I didn't catch those. I wasn't looking at the game on that level, so I felt kind of dumb early on. Like, oh, I don't really get any. And then like suddenly, like it all snapped into view, and I pushed through pretty quick. That said, like I miss good rocket launchers in video games, right? Like there's certain things about the way certain things feel in this game that are great. I think all the tier 1 weapons kind of suck on purpose.
Yeah, like, there's also definitely like an experience that I missed having in games. Like I remember doing this a lot in like the original Deus Ex, of the unlock a door, open it, throw grenades in, and like close the door again and lock it.
Cluster flax.
Yeah. I had a run where like I found like a zillion cluster flax and hadn't gotten in the habit of using them at all yet. And so I piled up like more than 100 of them, or 200 or something like that. Then I ran out of pistol ammunition, and so it's just like, okay,
we're using these now.
Next ship I go on is just, I'm blowing up fucking everybody. Like,
there was a mission I was on where it was like, there's like a couple screws on this ship, you know, just like be careful, it's cool. And I get there and the power's off. And there's a screw literally like just outside the airlock.
The worst. It's worse than Spelunky's dark levels. Yeah. Like it's the fucking worst.
Well, it's not even like actually.
You're talking about the ones that are like dark, not the ones where the power's off, or are you talking about the ones where the power's off?
Oh yeah,
because those are 2 separate.
Yeah,
things.
That's right. Yeah. I'm conflating those things. You're right.
The darkness in this, you can use it to your advantage though. I really like the sound design in this game. How the enemies are constantly barking. And giving away their position.
Well, and the onomatopoeia too,
especially the onomatopoeias through the doors. Like it'll be like, the enemy is through this door, because you can see comic book words happening on the door.
I also love that half the enemy's onomatopoeia nothing. like the visual word nothing comes up for spooks and stuff.
Oh, funny.
Like you hear nothing on the other side of the door, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Are we talking about positives now? Have we moved on to that?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
we're in.
cool.
That's
I think we're
that's
into
the flow,
positives.
man.
All right. Look, I'm along for the ride, okay?
You know, if you'd listen to the podcast. No, it's sort of that's the natural flow of the conversation. We
Got it.
start with the bad things, and that inevitably leads to us talking to good things. So
Unless it's
continuing,
Beat Cop.
continuing.
Yeah.
down
unless
the
it's
path
Beat
of
Cop.
bad
We should
things.
stop giving that game publicity. That game.
Well, no, it's more of a warning, really.
Yeah.
Because we have a new audience. Shout out in chat if you're never ever gonna play Beat Cop.
Yo, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do yourself a favor.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
shout out in chat right now.
So Aaron,
Yeah.
what did you like about Void Bastards?
Man, I feel like maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. I feel like Void Bastards came out of nowhere. Like it just
Yeah, it
popped
didn't
up
really
one
have that
day.
much of a like preamble as far as hype goes.
I
Yeah.
saw the art like a month before it came out.
okay.
That's it.
I had no idea that like Humble was publishing it. I knew nothing about what was happening with this game, and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, Kara Ellison, and also here's all this dope art and really good music and audio, and
Yeah.
everything is just so
The
incredibly
music's very
polished.
good.
Yeah.
I either I talked to somebody at a PAX or something, some person who was like, oh yeah, we're doing like this 2D art style because it's really easy to make assets quickly.
Mhm.
Right, and I was like, oh cool, yeah, go for it, make the weapons 3D and everything else 2D. It's awesome.
Well, the weapons aren't 3D.
They're
The
not?
opposite.
What's that?
The weapons are 2D and everything else is 3D.
Except for the
Was that how it
enemies,
Well, it's
right?
like the enemies. It's just the environments that are 3D.
Okay,
Yeah, because like the pistol's just like a little flat,
Yeah, everything's just flat planes.
okay.
which is kind of funny to when you use cluster flax, because if you throw one, that's
It
3D.
becomes 3D. Yeah.
Oh,
and
right,
you
yeah.
will be holding a cluster flack that is a cardboard cutout
Yeah.
of a
Right.
cluster flack,
Right.
and you can
It
see
like
them
gives it
next.
this like pop.
Yeah.
When you throw it, it
It's the same thing.
pops in
It's the same thing
3D.
with the cats, because
Yeah.
that's another weapon you drop on the ground.
Right.
Well, and even the pickups are 2D,
Yeah,
right? So like it does this weird like visual pops open thing when
Yeah.
you do that.
I love all the pickups in this game, by the way. Like floppy cubes, brilliant. Foons, brilliant.
I love the progression, right? Like finger, hand, head.
Also, did you notice that all the batteries are shaped like the letter that they are?
Yeah.
So like B batteries are shaped like an uppercase B.
I hadn't noticed that, but I did notice that the A batteries didn't look like any fucking A battery I'd ever seen in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah, they look like a letter A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's
Um,
good. The whole thing, the whole setting for it feels like what the seedy underbelly of the prison system in like the Fifth Element must be like, or
Oh, yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the bureaucracy for the prison system is called the cunt. They're the CNT. They're the cunts.
It's an extremely British game.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
Well,
very,
it's
very
It's
British
extremely
game.
Scottish.
Extremely-
game.
extremely
Oh,
Scottish
Scottish
game.
game. Pardon me. Yeah. Even more fitting.
Yeah.
Oh god, the Ion Brew. Do you guys know what Urn Brew is?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's this drink they drink in Scotland, and no one I ever talked to could ever adequately describe to me what it's supposed to be. It comes in a can. Everyone in Scotland drinks it, but
Oh, this is my favorite room on the green screen. This is my favorite room in the whole game.
So
But-
weird.
they have Ion Brew because
Yeah.
it's spelled IRN for the real
Well,
drink.
it's Ion Brow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay,
it's
yeah.
BRAU.
Like,
So the accents in this game would have been completely foreign to me 2 months ago,
yeah.
but my personal trainer is Irish as hell,
Good one, Barbara.
and he's like high-pitched Irish, so like the kids,
Oh, sure.
perfect.
The
Right,
Jews.
like there's enough of those same sounds going on in this game where I'm like,
Sure.
oh, I totally get these dudes now,
Oh,
and it's super wild.
can I tell you about my favorite ship of all time?
Absolutely.
So it was one of the pleasure ships, the ones with the purple walls.
Yeah.
And it said,
Lux
it said
Cruiser.
one of the enemy types on this ship will be friendly.
Oh.
And there was only one enemy type, and it was janitors. And so I'm running around this trash-filled ship, getting high off the garbage fumes.
Yeah.
Picking up food, which I desperately needed at that point,
Yeah.
and all the janitors are going, "Sup, Gary? Hey, Gary. What's up, Gary? Hey, is that you, Gary?" So I'm sprinting
I
everywhere.
love that they have different dialogue for allies and enemies.
Right. Well,
It's
they
so
call
good.
the janitors call everyone Gary.
Yeah.
And the scribes call you Barbara derisively because they're sexist pigs. Yeah, all the enemies are very charming in this game. Surprise, butt face!
Oh god, the kids are the best.
Okay, what's the name of the supervisor, the one with the shield?
The Zek.
Zek, yeah, because it's an executive. That's
Yeah.
right. That's the only one where this art style, I feel like it failed me at all.
Oh yeah.
Because you need to attack them from a back facing.
Oh well, yeah, it's not apparent.
Yeah, and there's the amount
the 2D.
of the 2D thing made.
Do you know how that clicked for me?
How's that?
Because when you get the item that's the bouncer, you use the same shield.
Okay.
And I realized that it was the same effect, and I was like, oh, theirs is
the
probably only
visual.
from the front too.
Well, so I just threw cluster flax at them.
That works too.
Because like I didn't want to deal with that.
Suck splash.
I
ran into a ton of them at the end of the game, and
I used rifters, and then I used ally makers. The ones
Okay.
that make them your
Yeah,
buddies,
that makes sense.
Yeah, Zeks are really good against other Zeks.
Sure.
Well, or they just like play Pong, right?
No, because it's not theirs isn't a bouncing shield.
Oh, okay.
It's an absorbing shield.
Okay.
So they just absorb the explosion, and then when one of them misses, somebody takes damage. Zeks don't actually have that much health, which is nice.
No, I fucking rocket.
They're not
launched.
like screw level of health.
No, I put those bitches in orbit with the rocket launcher. Like, it's fucking done. I was like, tired of your shit. Like,
and I really liked how innocuous and hilarious, and then / dangerous tourists were. Like they're really like they feel really controllable, but then you make one mistake and they eat this huge chunk of your health. Right.
Well, I feel like I always ran into them in the big cubicle farms.
Oh god, yeah.
Where it's really easy to break line of sight with them.
Yeah, they can catch you around a corner really easy.
Like got to talk to management about moving those turrets. Like put them on the ceiling at least.
I wish I had more opportunities to use the trash chutes.
What do they do?
Are
you talking about the big dumpster things?
Yeah, the things that shoot people out into space.
Yeah.
If there's an enemy inside of it,
Oh,
you press
yeah,
the button
yeah.
and they go flying out into space.
those tiles don't appear that much in the game.
Yeah, they don't.
Especially after depth like 1.
It'd be really nice to trap a screw in there. And
Or even just like more environmental stuff, because there's also the desiccating rooms.
Those are really good. There was a map where I had one of the things that spawns enemies, and it was spawning juves, and I was getting them to run through the desiccator and getting tons of bio from it.
just really farming them.
Yeah. Or maybe it wasn't bio. It was they were dropping like the 50 blocks of whatever material they get turned into, and it was really useful.
All right, favorite mutations.
Yeah, let's talk about mutations.
There's character mutations in the game that like change the core gameplay of your character, basically.
I really liked long arms because interacting with things far away was really nice. I feel like the distance with which you have to interact with things causes me to hit A and right click a lot more than I need to. Like I'm very inaccurate.
There's a lot of like click.
And then I really, really liked how they managed to make being tall a negative in this game.
Being short's a negative.
There's a trait called towering where your character's FOV is put up like an entire half a character's length.
The opposite exists.
Yeah, and it's awful.
I never went super deep on mutations. Like
Neither
I
did
finished the game all the way through, and like I know I used those mutation stations, but like none of it stuck with me.
Yeah, I felt like I just forgot about them.
Yeah,
like eventually I just kind of forgot they existed because they didn't feel like they made that much of an impact on the game unless I went to mutation station and I specifically picked something that I wanted.
Right.
Otherwise I would just leave it alone.
Keynan found one that was really game changing for him.
So I got a dude who started with picks up items in like your vicinity. Like basically you just vacuum anything up within like 3 feet of you. So I stopped having to care about junk because I just walk by it and suck it up.
Yeah.
That was really great. And then I ran into a mutation station in like that dude's second ship where I got enemy radar on the mini map.
Ooh, that's
fucking game over.
Yeah, so
at that point,
it was like, you know, Owen and I, we talked about this. That like we finished about 3/4 of the game on one character.
Yeah.
Ironically, mine was named Owen.
Hey, there we go.
So
it's a good.
So yeah, I get.
He's still alive, by the way.
Oh.
I finished out the tech tree with him.
I get enemy radar, and enemy radar, unlike some of the other perks, some of the other mutations are like you can see security junk. Enemy radar, the one that I got, is everything.
Is everything.
So it's cameras, it's all the bad guys, like when you download from the terminal.
Okay.
And turrets. So you can literally know what's in a room before you ever go in it. And like this is where suddenly my brain opened up and I went, explosives are awesome in this game. And I just start chucking grenades around corners at stuff.
I love that they give you so many grenades on a pickup that you can be really frivolous with
Especially
them.
since they're kind of hard to throw when you get started. Like, you don't know how they're going to bounce and stuff.
Well, you had that problem.
I did. And then I got good with it. Yeah. It was great. Boy Bastard sure is cool.
I'm really glad it has a DLC coming out.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, they're already talking about adding a DLC, and it's like this game needs more. Like, it makes me really excited or worried about what would be in that DLC, because like this game needs more pieces in the stew. Like,
oh, hey, that's Steven.
In that
and then Unarmed Swing 39. I don't know who that is, but the Steve Endrick.
Yeah.
That's see what you're saying. Sorry.
It needs more pieces in that proc gen. Like,
there needs more different types of Legos in the bucket.
Yeah, like I want more of those like environmental hazards, like the desiccator and the trash chute. It needs more ship types.
This game was missing exploding barrels pretty hard.
Yeah, but also like points to them for the courage to not put exploding barrels in a first-person shooter. Because
plus,
come on,
all the tourists are exploding barrels.
Yeah,
basically.
They're exploding barrels that have better dialogue.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, ma'am.
I really like mixed populations with tourists because it made it like pretty simple.
Tourists and Spooks is hilarious.
Yeah, it's a good pop set. It's real dumb.
There's also a game kind of like Ape Out where I want to play more games that are in this art style that are like not this type of game at all.
Yeah.
You know, like the same like Ape Out is also like another very stylish game where it's like I'm not that into that game's gameplay, but just like I would just love to have like a detective game in that art style, or I'd love to have I don't know anything.
I was totally sold on the comic book style. Like I usually think that's a little bit tropey. Like it's I don't know, not a super interesting way particularly to tell a story for me, but that somehow worked super well, and they weren't very long. Like it was like one page and then you just move on to the next
you're
thing.
talking about like the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the game's visual style matches its overall feel.
Oh yeah, the consistency in the game is incredible.
Yeah, especially since the cutscenes are always driving home that theme of this is not a friendly universe.
Right.
Fuck you.
Or like did you ever play Freedom Force back in the day, the superhero game?
Oh yeah.
So that game has big onomatopoeia sounds like appear in the game world, but the art style of that game it doesn't quite line up with those letters. So it never looked quite natural.
It pops out weird
the way it does in this, where like when you go up to a door and you hear like hovering in the next room,
but
or
it's
whatever.
a simple text, right? It's not this big gross like
well, it was like that in Freedom Force. Like you would punch a dude and a pow would come out of your fist. Yeah,
thud.
It doesn't feel like clip art in the same way.
Yeah,
right. Like
clip art's a good word for it.
It feels like it's just like this is text that exists in the environment. Split. I love this backpack thing.
It's pretty gruesome.
Yeah. Like
I don't like that it shits out all the things you picked up because they're unregistered slag.
Like this game nails so much of its aesthetic and then like really pays it off at the end, I think. You were saying, Owen, like, oh, I really like what this game is doing, but I don't want to play it in this game.
Yeah.
Right? You were saying like that. So Warframe is about to have Sea of Thieves in it.
Okay.
And I was never interested in playing Sea of Thieves.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
It's about to have Sea of Thieves.
Why? That doesn't make any sense.
It is, okay? It's called Empyrean. You can check it out if you want to.
All right.
But
you have a ship and you do
it's about to have Sea of Thieves in it, and I'm very excited to play Sea of Thieves, but I was never excited to play Sea of Thieves. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wanted to play Sea of Thieves, but I wanted to get 3 other people to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was always kind of a tall order.
Did you ever see the Kotaku article where it was like, I have this problem in Sea of Thieves where I want to do PvP, but no one will do PvP with me because everyone is interested in just gathering treasure, and no one wants to fight and risk their treasure.
Sure.
But I found a foolproof way to force everyone to fight me.
What's that?
Hello there, Mr. Pirate. Oh, whoa. And she was saying that like when she does this on the like megaphone that she has, without fail, the other ship will turn towards her and attempt to kill her because she did this.
Excellent.
And the whole time he's like, "Why are you firing those cannons at me, Mr. Pirate? Oh, whoa." and they're just like, it just makes them madder.
That's
right?
so good.
They just want to kill her really bad, and it's like that really reminded me of the article I saw way back when, where they played The Boys Are Back in Town like 15 times in a row on a jukebox and like described that experience.
It's the John Mulaney What's New Pussycat.
Yeah,
bit.
which I mean that's where he got that bit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, the music in this game was very good.
Yeah, it's like I love the. I never think about it when I'm playing, except when I'm exiting and entering a level.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that like thundering bass like coming in, and it's just like.
But the sound design is really good at communicating to you what is going on.
Yeah.
It's
like,
very much like, this is combat now.
Between the onomatopoeias and the sound design, I knew exactly the relationship between the rocket I had just fired and the enemy that exploded. And like, regardless of what smoke was happening on screen, I knew that guy was dead or not, or like if I needed to keep firing or not. Things were very well communicated to me by the music and the sound design. Hey, did anyone else notice that you could hit the use button multiple times on exiting to the Steve to make the sound file play as many times as you wanted to?
You told me and I needed to do it.
It was so good because you could. It goes like like when you first do it, right? It like plays this like sort of bass tone, right? But if you do it, it's your own sort of like Diplo.
What?
Mia Jaleza.
Okay.
I liked it because I could tell the game how urgently I wanted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm chill and nothing's chasing me, I'm like, meh, cool, we're out. If there's like 7 spooks chasing me, I'm like, go.
Yeah, it depends if you walked or sprinted to the exit.
Yeah, it was very much like, how is my mood exiting the ship? Is my excitement fucking up your level?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Fine.
Writing in the game.
Like as far as like all the dialogue
Yeah.
of like all the monsters and the space pirates and whatever, that's all great, and like the little cutscenes are great. Like the actual broad strokes of what the story of this game is, it's like whatever.
Corporations suck.
I read it and I skip everything, so
Yeah.
I guess that says something about it for
Okay.
me at least.
It's like you go get the 4 MacGuffins to finish this tier of objectives.
Mhm.
It doesn't work. You do it again. It doesn't work. You do it again. It doesn't work. You do it
Doesn't
the last
work in
time.
hilarious, goofy Douglas Adams.
And
sort
then
of
you
way.
die.
Yeah, you do the last one and it works. But
then
also,
you
but
die.
also you still lose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Because
still
you're-
a prisoner. Fuck
yeah.
you.
You end up worse than you were before your sentence has been increased for helping out the prison ship.
Mhm.
You did
And-
this, but also you damaged all this property. Fuck you.
Yeah, and also like saw that one coming like a million miles away too. It was like, okay, yeah, when this wraps up, I'm not gonna like go out to a sunny pasture afterwards.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
I got there in that point in the end. I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
The fact that the robot voice of the spaceship was voiced by the Stanley Parable narrator really helped set the tone for me. It was
Kinda
like,
told you where we going.
this is going to be an unfriendly, unreliable narrator who punishes me for doing what it's asking me to do.
But he also tells you you're a very good boy
Like super
anytime you
chipper.
get an objective
Yeah.
item.
It's like, due to staff turnover, we had to outsource to clients. I love it. Yeah, they're not prisoners; they're clients.
Yeah, like this is somehow a service that I've like
Yeah,
solicited
Mhm.
of being in
should
prison.
be a pile of pink pixie dust.
Yeah.
I like the part where he decides to make you feel better when you finally do the thing. He's like, I knew you were a perfect sack of garbage, but when I picked you, like, oh, thanks, man.
That's great. Yeah, I saw like an interview with Kara Ellison, who did writing for this, where she like basically said that she wrote all these like Scottish swears into the game, and there were some of them that the voice actors that they hired for the game couldn't quite pronounce or land right, and so that's why she voices like a handful of characters in the game. Like she voices all the pirates because like the voice actors they had couldn't say the weirdly specific Scottish swears.
Oh, is that why? I mean, I found it very charming that
Yeah.
she's like not a professional voice actor.
Yeah.
And so the pirates are just sort of like angry, but also sort of emotionally flat a little bit. They're like,
a little bit.
cunts in the garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, they sort of sound just like people who've been like working together
Yeah.
for too long.
Yeah.
It lends them a very specific character
Yeah,
in a way that
which
works
is like
really
sort
well.
of in line with the whole theme
The
of
space
this.
pirates, yeah.
Well, the space pirates, but also just like in the theme of the whole game.
Everything's like tired.
Yeah, everyone. Well, like, and everyone is like a servant, right?
Yeah, everything's exhausted.
Everyone's employees and clients,
Yeah.
and and janitors and
Yeah.
shit like that.
The machine's too big for everyone, and they all hate it.
Yeah.
Like,
And everyone's just trying to get drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or get high.
yeah.
So do the drugs do anything other than make all the colors wrong?
They
like
fuck your
the
aim up real
garbage?
bad.
They fuck your aim up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, you're spread.
They fuck your aim up real bad. Don't use a rocket launcher when
Okay.
you're high on garbage.
Do use a shotgun when you're
Yeah,
high on
Okay, I
garbage.
guess I just never noticed like the guns I was using. Like, it's probably because I was using thrown weapons or something.
Yeah,
But it was just like, all right, it's making all the
they still throw kind of wacky though.
it's making all the loot pickups instead of glowing green like glow like rainbow.
Every color.
But also like who cares because they're also the only glowing thing.
So like I had my shotgun out and I run through a pile of garbage and the shotgun reticle's like here and then it fills the whole screen.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
I did that with a handgun, and it was not good.
Okay, I finished that game using primarily just cluster flax and the explosive robot cat things.
Explosives are super good in this game.
Because there were a bunch of Zeks at the end, and like I just didn't have time. Like I had plenty of time. I did not have the time to deal with Zeks. And so it's
The
just like,
Robo Kitty's really good at dealing with
Yeah.
insects.
The
They really want to
second-tier
shoot
Robot
it.
Kitty.
Also, the second tier Robot Kitty that shoots fucking cluster flags.
well, yeah.
everywhere.
So that's what I had.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm just gonna
It's
throw
like,
it at him.
Here,
and
have a Robo Kitty. Here, have an additional thing, and then when the Robo Kitty dies, you'll have another one.
yeah, it'll
Yeah.
probably kill you, and even if it doesn't, it'll occupy you so long that I can just
Then
go
you just
on to the
leave.
next room
Yeah.
and do whatever.
Oh yeah,
it's
there were so
doing.
many times where I'd throw like a cluster flak in a room, lock the door, and go the other way.
Yeah.
Like, nope, I'm out. And then you'd come around a corner and you're like, oh, you're that guy that I blew up halfway. Got it. Do it again.
Yeah. Okay.
It's time for the bad stand.
No, do we know anything about the people who made this video game?
Nothing. Not a fucking thing. It
Okay.
literally, for me, it just came out of nowhere.
Oh, so we found out. Owen and I found out a thing last night that the Outer Wilds was created by Hero from or the studio that took it from a
Mobius
thesis
game.
project to a full game is Mobius, and the guy who runs that studio is Hero from Heroes.
The show.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's
Nissan Versa.
Didn't they have a Fig campaign for
Yeah,
this game?
But he
a
bought
long
He
time
bought
ago?
them from Fig.
Oh, okay. I
So
see.
like it was like a graduate thesis on narrative and video games, but then he like saw it at a USC like video game show and bought out their Fig campaign for 220% of everybody's investment.
Barbecue steak tips in the chat is correct on all fronts.
extremely true.
Yep, I agree with those statements.
I am a fucker.
Also, hey,
Kara
did you
Ellison
guys
rocks.
did you guys see that that guy Steve Vendrick is higher level than Good News in the
Oh
chat?
man,
Did you guys see that?
he must participate in a lot of mixers.
Wow, what a power user!
All right, I'm getting on right now to participate. God.
We're the worst friends.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
It is. You know. So
This is good TV right here.
now it is time for the bad standards,
Mhm.
which we should probably explain.
Yeah, we should explain at least a little bit.
We're only gonna explain ourselves so much, guys.
Sometimes
We're gonna rate this game. Gonna rate this game on a scale of 1 to 5 on how much we think it's adjacent to various different games.
Man, Blue Manchu doesn't even have a website. What the fuck? Sorry, they made this game.
Anyway.
that we've been talking about.
It's fucked up. You should write them
I should be like, "Where's your
Email.
website, nerds?"
I mean, we have a website. What is it?
Make your website.
Shame.club or
Shame.club or
shame.business.
shame.business.
Yeah,
So
those are the good ones.
those are the good ones. So yeah, the bad standards. I am going to say at the beginning of this 10 episode series, we're on episode 47 or 48 or 46. One of those. I don't
Somewhere in
remember.
there. Mid-40s.
When we finish a 10 episode series, we create a new bad standards. And it is a collaborative process that
We pick more fucked up ways to judge video games.
because we don't want to be like, do we recommend this game or not, or do we give this game a 1 out of 10
out
or
in
whatever.
the rest of our conversation.
We want to just compare it to things from the past, and the bad standards get warped very badly.
Oh, yeah.
Is another thing.
They're
like
about a lot of
it's
feelings.
generally about feelings, and then it's generally about one specific feeling. Like I'll be like, "Oh, what do you guys think about it in relation to this one video game?" And one of these two chuckleheads will be like, "Oh, I liked the music in this game, and I liked the music in this game too. So it's a 5 out of 5 for me,
Hey,
buddy."
hey,
And I'm like, "That's not
last
comprehensive."
show we got you on
All right.
our side on taking it one way, and it was great.
I still hate it, but
I know.
I hate a lot of things. So Bad standards. Hey, and we're gonna do it just like we did it last time because we have Podcast Daddy and he's technically on this podcast because he played the game. He agreed to play the game. He didn't do his homework though. He didn't. He didn't do his homework.
Didn't listen to the
Didn't
Inside
listen to the episode
Okay, so-
about Inside where we hate
We
Inside.
played the video game. We played Inside, and we.
Oh, that
I
game's
hated
bad.
it. I hated it. Did you hate
I
it?
hate that game.
Did you hate it?
I don't know how to feel about it.
And it's a bad video game. It's a bad video game for tiny babies.
Swear to
Yeah.
God, it's fucking-
And if you'd like to know why, like go listen to our episode on Inside and why it's horrible.
at shame.club.
Yeah.
And then Aaron was supposed to do that, and then we could have a conversation about it, but he didn't. So we're done putting him on blast. Time for the bad standards.
Thanks for producing. We're gonna throw
Yeah,
you
we
under
did.
the bus.
Yeah, I did say that Inside is terrible.
We did.
All three of us
We're
said
awful
that.
people.
If you want to have a conversation about it, you can email us at
Badplaystyle@gmail.com.
or
Yeah.
we're on Twitter at @badplaystyle.
you can hit us up on any of
I
our
like pro
social
wrestling.
medias.
I'm already terrible.
Yeah, I mean that works too.
That's fine. You can take it out on me. I'll
Yeah.
probably see. This is Izzy. I'll probably see him tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Okay, so hey Aaron,
Yes.
how many Payday 2s out of 5 does this game get?
I think this is my favorite thing about having Aaron.
This is
Aaron
this
on,
is the
like,
best part about
play a
having it
dumb
on the
rating
podcast.
game.
Oh boy.
How many Payday 2s out of 5?
We already discussed he's only played an hour of Payday 2. so-
Yeah. So of my hour of Payday 2, it gets like
Ooh.
like 2 hours of Payday 2
Okay.
out of 5.
Izzy said 4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey,
Alright.
justify that, Izzy, and then we'll talk about it. Owen, how many do you think? I'm gonna go with the 3. I think. But what do you think?
I want to give it like a 4.
You want to give it a
Like
4?
like it is extremely on its own bullshit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's got music that fucking
It's
slaps.
got those vibes.
You know,
right?
it's got guns. It's got attitude.
There's a
it's-
lot of shitty swearing.
Yeah.
It's also oh, I forgot to mention this. So my favorite playstyle in Payday 2 is semi-stealth, where you take like a big assault rifle, but you make sure its concealment's low enough
Yeah.
that like they don't notice, and you do all the stealth objectives so fast that they just can't call the cops, but you do them loud as fuck, right? Like this is my favorite playstyle, and raiding a ship in
Yep.
this feels like if you do it quick with bombs,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
feels like
If you can,
semi-stealth.
if you can hit hard and fast in this
Yeah.
game, it's got a good.
Oh man,
Good
what if
feel.
this game was 4-player co-op?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Why'd
Hey,
you do that
hey,
to me?
hey, email Blue Man Chew.
Yeah.
Why do I have to email?
Get it-
I-
get 'em on
Because
the
you have a
phone.
computer.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah, you're in the biz.
Do it
God, I
right
have to-
now.
I gotta level up on my Mixer chat. I gotta do emails.
Yeah.
No,
You
and
got homework?
And Izzy, it's not stealth; it's semi-stealth. You're bringing like you're bringing like an AK-47. It just happens to have a silencer on the end of it. It still does over 40 damage.
And no stock in the
Uh-huh.
smallest magazine you can find.
yeah. So I'm
I'm going 4 Payday 2s.
You're going
I'm with 4.
okay. Hey,
I'm also liking Barbecue Steak Tips, fantastic progression, good sass, and original curses.
let's all give congratulations, barbecue steak
Yeah,
tips.
Consensus.
America claps.
I
You need
wouldn't.
to have the camera on you when you.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was hoping I could get it close enough
Yeah,
to the
right.
mic. but
I
I'll do
wouldn't be
both.
surprised if anyone yelled "broke dick drill" in this game.
Yeah.
That wouldn't feel weird or out of place. at all.
Broke dick drill,
Yeah.
butt face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yelling at me about the rivet gun.
I mean, this game is like basically the equivalent of
Mhm.
it's the
Thermal drill, Barbara.
yeah the Scottish equivalent of that kind of cussing, right?
You need a medic bag there,
Yeah,
fun
yep,
boy.
yep.
Yeah, that's a screw there. We didn't talk
Yeah.
about that yet. Anyway, so moving on.
They're real
Um,
grimy.
Yeah, the screws.
screws are real grimy. I
They're,
don't
they're
like 'em.
from the north.
I don't
yeah,
like it. Just
All
get
right.
away
I've
from
got
me.
too much tongue in my mouth.
Yeah, yep. That's it.
And I can't say th.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So how many? Hey, Aaron. Next question.
Stop.
How many spelunkies out of 5 does this game get?
I'll give it a 4.
A 4.
Or
I'll
And-
give it a 4. Spelunkies.
And why?
Progression's real good.
Mm-hmm.
He just said that.
Well,
No, he's allowed to have his own opinion.
Right.
it's my own opinion. Oh Jesus!
What did
I'm
you
gonna
do?
switch the camera back so people can see what you did to that microphone.
Jesus.
What happened?
That microphone's
I
gonna
slapped
take you
it.
to court, dude.
Oh, no.
Like,
All right, we'll fix that later.
No, it's fine. It's fixed.
All right,
Look.
I get it. Yeah, you got it. The progression's really good. For me, the replayability was great. Like, I still feel like I would go back and I would play it again. I don't know if I would play it on the same level as Spelunky.
Pause.
Yes.
Did you notice that Steak Tips just leveled up in the chat?
and gave it a 6 out of 5, completely disobeying the rules of the bad standards. Yeah, that's the point, Steve. That's the point. It's the bad standards.
All right.
Okay, like just ride it out.
Steven's level 6.
Why do you have a 4? Why now that we've continued to
Yeah. Okay. So continue.
Yes, a 4.
Yeah.
God, Jesus Christ, what did I say? Progression's good.
Yeah.
got it.
Music's good.
Mm-hmm.
The I feel
Has
like
that sweet roguelike feeling.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for encapsulating my feelings. But also, just the enemy design is interesting. Like, I feel like I approach situations based on the
Right, yeah.
enemies that I see
Right.
ahead
You
of me.
can't just
so-
ignore what's there and be like, I'm bringing a bazooka. You have to
Okay.
like think about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was feeling a 3 on Spelunky before, but now I think I'm the enemy thing pushed me over the edge. I think you're right.
There's a very like this tool for this problem
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Well, and
that
they're all
both these
like
teams
very
have.
diverse too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
I did still
Always
never,
be carrying.
still never really found a use for the Riveter, but yeah. whatever.
Always be carrying.
Um,
I suspect the Riveter, if you bothered to upgrade it, would get good, but I don't care.
Spelunky's not the best game.
about
But we're
that.
giving it a 4.
All right.
Whoa.
Oh man.
No, I was
Catbot.
responding to Steven. He had a deleted message there.
Oh, I can't see it from this side.
Yeah, it said "F you, Spelunky is the best." Removed by Catbot.
I'm sorry, Catbot is very sensitive right now.
Yeah.
Meow.
Okay, next we have Aaron.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready?
Yes.
How many Fallout New Vegases out of 5 does this game get? They get worse. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
we haven't even brought up the optional award.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to use the same hour rating that I used for Payday because my New Vegas playthrough was still probably
Can
about
you-
an hour.
can you put the camera back on me?
Yes. All right.
That's right. We're a pro New Vegas, anti Inside podcast.
I'm about to be anti-Aaron. This is fucking blasphemy.
Okay, but
So like a 2. It's like 2 hours.
2 on
in
New Vegas.
Yeah.
2 on New Vegas.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
I just didn't. You know.
So you're just like throwing out some fucking numbers.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
What else?
I
How else
barely
do you
rem-
respond to this when you haven't marinated in it?
Keenan, Owen.
I'm giving it a 1.
No. I'm not asking you to rate it. I'm turn your key. We are ejecting Aaron from the conversation. Beep.
No. What? Yeah. Nice. Nice. Okay.
No. So okay, you said 1.
I think 1.
Try that out. What's up?
I feel like 2.
Because we played it for podcast, which you can watch on shame.club.
Yeah.
Or not
Listen-
watch,
listen
listen.
to.
Yeah,
You
You
whatever.
can watch with your ears. It's fine.
Yeah.
So like, this universe wants a depth, but it doesn't have it. Right? Like.
I can see what you're going with.
Yeah, like I feel like it needs more to interact or even like reach the weird things New
Well,
Vegas wants to do
that's
for
the,
itself.
That's the problem with this level of not parody, but what's it?
Comparison?
No,
No? I don't know.
I don't remember what it's called. Anyway,
Comparity.
Ballery.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I give it like a 1 or a 2. Like New Vegas is a big fucking storied open world RPG, and this is like confined environments that like don't really speak much of a world outside of the nebula and the pirates and the derelict ships within.
And
so.
nothing I do matters.
I think
Yes.
2 just for scavenging gameplay loops.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Alright.
That's
Yeah.
2.
2.
So,
Two's fine.
so I feel like this is the point to ask Golden Toilet Skull.
That is not the point to ask
No?
this.
Okay.
Nope,
No,
you're
'cause-
jumping the gun by a
My
good
bad.
2 awards.
That's fair.
All right, Aaron,
Yes.
how many TIE Fighters, MS-DOS TIE Fighters out of 5
Hell yeah.
does
I'm
this
so
game
glad I
receive?
picked this.
I'm glad that I've been memory wiped of the rating system because every time now, each time they come back, it's a new fun
Well, and also
surprise.
we're only gonna do these games for like 2 more episodes.
Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
like one.
and
or
then
2
and
more
then it's gonna be
episodes.
5 different
which
games.
which you're
Excellent.
gonna be involved in picking. So
Okay, sweet,
yeah,
perfect.
There's a story, Steve, to why the chat doesn't allow you to express yourself with speed you desire. We can go over that after the
There is,
awards.
yeah, there's a story about that. 3.
3.
I'll say a 3. What did I on the last one that I was on? I think this was like the nostalgia category.
Kind
for
of,
me,
yeah.
Right?
don't.
It's
No,
whatever
no.
it means to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
this is what it
pigeonhole
means to
yourself.
me.
Yeah, it's what it means to you, not what it meant to Owen 2 weeks ago.
So for that, well, I'm gonna keep playing it, and I'll probably get back to it, and I'll play it more, like I do Spelunky. Like I play Spelunky in little chunks, and then I buy it on another console, and then I play it in little chunks.
The old Todd Howard method.
Yeah, and then I'll probably do the same thing where I'll pick it up when it comes out on Switch, which it probably will.
Yeah,
And then we'll play it again.
Did you ever notice that Spelunky 2's release date, if you Google it, is listed as like 2 weeks ago?
Huh.
What?
It got
Oh,
pushed back, but it
okay.
doesn't have a specific date.
Nobody
But the way
changed it.
Google aggregates crap,
Yeah.
like it just pulls the wrong release date and says,
Oh, does it do that like Google autofill at the top?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's September 12th, man.
Yeah, it was released like like June 26th or something of 2019. It's like,
Google out here trolling about Spelunky 2.
yeah,
All right, so TIE Fighter.
countdown till Keenan brings up the tattoo.
yeah. How long? 10 seconds?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the
ta-
tech tree is the tattoo.
the
like-
tattoo mentioner has logged on.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think? TIE Fighters out of 5.
TIE Fighters, I don't know. Like, you don't fucking control any of the ships you're in.
Well, but
Like,
I gameplay wise and feeling wise, I'm at about a 0. I don't like.
yeah,
None of the feelings from TIE Fighter are replicated in any way, shape, or form, other than the sweaty ass nonsense you can get into sometimes. Like you can get real sweaty in TIE Fighter,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
But I don't think that's worth the whole.
Not
point,
as sweaty as
so,
you can get an X-Wing, though.
No.
yeah, I'd give it like a 0.
Yeah.
I'm
0.
going to give it a 1 in that there's still an asshole telling me what to do.
Hey, barbecue stick tips. That is exactly why we use this rating system.
Yeah.
Um,
Tattoo mention or new band name. Yep. Okay. Cool.
yeah. So moving on.
What's our last?
Aaron. Well,
I don't remember.
it was yours.
TIE Fighter. No. Like,
Wait, no. TIE Fighter was yours. This one's
Yeah.
purely a Matt and Owen invention.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
are you prepared?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're mentally fortitude ready for this one
I think so.
because this is the worst one.
All right.
So, how many Alpha Centauris
Fuck.
out of
Oh,
5
yeah.
does this
I
game
forgot they get worse over time.
They get worse. They get worse. We start you out with Payday, and you're like, boy, this is awful, right? It just gets worse.
I mean, I'll give it a 3 because I guess there sure is some space in this one, huh?
And you sure are fucked as well.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's
That's a fair assessment.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that. A 3 sounds right.
Yeah.
It's in outer space. What more can
I
you
feel
say?
like I'm gonna say 2 because there aren't opposing viewpoints.
I did say okay. So I have one more thing to share about Void Bastards before you move on to the best part of the show. And I was at work. And the guy was like, "Oh, hey, what are you playing for a podcast these days?" I was like, "Oh, I was playing this game called Void Bastards." He's like, "Oh, cool." And I like showed him some screenshots. He's like, "Oh, this looks like Borderlands." And I was like, "Please don't say that. Please don't
Please
say those
don't.
words." You are demonstrating an incredible lack of any sort of critical analysis here. That is very. Ooh.
Quit embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, but that kid was like 19, so whatever. Moving on.
I want to nominate this game for a golden toilet skull.
That,
Yeah!
you didn't let me- oh man. Okay, so we have a supplemental award, Aaron, here, which is called the Golden Toilet Skull. Owen is a huge fan of the Golden Toilet
Yeah.
Skull and advocated for its continued existence on the podcast. I wanted to take it out back and shoot it in the head, but Owen.
Shoot it in the
It
golden
doesn't need to
toilet
be
skull.
brought up every episode,
He
but
can-
every once in a while you get a great game that does some really ham-fisted environmental storytelling like this one.
Which is why it's called the Golden Toilet Skull. You starting to get this?
Yep. Got it.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna ask.
Angrily explaining.
if I can get one indie developer to proudly put on their booth that they're the recipient of a golden toilet skull, it will have all been worth it.
I mean, you can do that. You can print that out, and you can walk around PAX, and you can hand it to games that you think earned that
shit.
Yeah.
award.
Just give like 10 of them to the Bethesda booth.
Oh shit!
Like, you guys suck.
You can learn what this award means at shame.club.
No. So Aaron, this begs the question: does this game deserve a golden toilet skull, in your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
Shout out to Steve. He just hit level 7, saying that the new points never matter.
Yep.
It's a very conflicting
Someone
message.
racking up points right now says the points don't matter.
We need a physical toilet skull to give out.
I think
He's right.
I think this game definitely does deserve.
Like all there's
storytelling,
those set pieces, and you kind of see them over and over, but they're still
They're very evocative of the universe.
very evocative and hammy. Like
Yeah.
I
the
love how fucking huge the torpedo launchers are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
or like the surgical theater
Which-
with all the like spilled bags of popcorn in the seating.
Yeah.
You know what's great about the shooting the torpedoes is you don't do that. You lean out the window. and
Right.
throw it.
I also love that every time you pick up a torpedo, it's like a fucking 80s action movie ass nuclear warhead.
Yep.
Like
Bethesda does receive their golden toilet skull out of shame, and this game receives it with pride because that's what they were shooting.
Yeah,
for.
that's a fact.
Right.
the Golden
Um,
Toilet Skull was created in response to Bethesda.
Oh yeah, it's Moira Brown presents the golden toilet
Yeah,
skull,
yeah.
right? Moira from Fallout 3, the classic video game that never happened.
Yeah.
So
Who totally survives. Dies.
Okay.
She absolutely dies.
Yeah, she dies,
fuck
and
this up
this
every
is
time we
it's
bring
the
this up.
memorial award, right? Because she totally died in that game when we blew her up
Yep.
in Megadon. She wasn't there at the bottom because they didn't want to prevent the player from not receiving that content. Anyway,
It's not like
hey,
shame. Don't neuter yourself.
Keenan.
Yeah.
What is our Twitter?
Our Twitter is @badplaystyle.
Hey, Owen,
one had it.
what is our email?
Badplaystyle@gmail.com.
Aaron, what is our website?
Shame.club.
Or
The other one I can't remember.
shame.business.
Ah, that business.
Sometimes it's about membership, and sometimes about dollar bills.
And if you have problems with any of the things we said, these are the avenues with which you can interact with us.
Also, you'll be able to find our podcast recordings on this stream from time to time.
on
Is
this
that right?
stream or on your website
Yeah.
or on YouTube.
Yeah. At the very, very spaceship account.
Correct.
And
Gotta learn to say that one more.
now
smoothly.
I know everybody came for this, so we'll just get on to it. This is the best part of the entire show, which is Sam
money.
Fisher. What is it? Tom Clancy presents Sam Fisher presenting Who versus Guybrush Threepwood edition.
Fucking word salad stream of consciousness.
Okay, so
Should we explain how this exists?
We're on film for the first time, so I will explain once. So originally I came up with this segment, or no, the Ether came up with this segment because it appeared on the Doom agenda.
Yeah.
and I don't remember writing
It's
it.
very
there.
mysterious.
And it was Sam Fisher versus. Is all
Also,
it
the
said.
Doom Agenda is not a public document. We don't have access to it, right?
You don't.
Right.
No, it's only me.
it's
And
just
I
like-
didn't write this there. I have very good memory. I did not write this there. So the Sam Fisher versus was we would whoever's game pick it was would essentially pitch whatever the scenario was that we were throwing Sam Fisher into whatever game we had reviewed that week.
Part of it to point out how flavorless Sam Fisher is.
Well, yeah, to lampoon Sam Fisher was part of the goal, yeah. But eventually we became bored with that. And so we decided to do different people.
Yeah. Well, because really what it boiled down to is the game like violence oriented or
Yeah.
not? Because
Right.
if it is Sam Fisher is a cold operator who shoots everyone, and if it's like a fucking story game about feelings, he probably
He's completely unequipped.
he probably hits a wall and can't figure out.
I mean, I
what to
feel
do.
like there was some good conversations that came out of that because we did all the Fallout games
Yeah.
that you made us play during those. And it was like Sam Fisher in the post-apocalypse. This is a fun thing to think about.
Yeah.
This is a good feeling in my brain case. But then eventually we just decided to do Guybrush Threepwood.
Yeah, make it a rotating seat.
And it's a rotating seat currently on this 10-episode series. It's Guybrush Threepwood, and I'm the only one who's played those games, or you've played them?
I've played, yeah.
But Owen hasn't played the games at all,
I've
so
never
he keeps
played
trying to kill
Curse of
Guybrush, and I
yeah.
keep telling him that's like thematically inappropriate
There's
to
a
do.
copy of Curse of Monkey Island on Sega CD in our house.
Okay, cool. Well, great.
I'll put it in my Sega
but
CD and play it.
Hell yeah.
It was technically my pick. Owen at one point tried to give me a cop out and say, "No, it's Aaron's pick. We'll just jam you in." And I was like, "No, man, it's my pick. I'm picking Void Bastards." And so I think that Guybrush Threepwood is dehydrated. And
He's definitely a criminal.
yeah, is 100% a criminal
Under this regime.
under the cunt. Yeah,
Well, he's definitely been like convicted.
of some stuff.
Yeah.
He did
Like whether or
something.
not he did it, but like
And I think he's being followed by space pirates, but they're not Scottish. They're
on fire.
LeChuck.
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
And I think he never leaves the Sargasso Nebula. He just keeps
He's just
rolling
in it.
around and keeps trying to like rhyme insults at like robots.
So I imagine the reason he got desiccated is because he was like being polite and holding the door open for someone at like a bank.
Yeah.
And it happened to be bank robbers.
So he's an accomplice.
And he
Yeah.
got nabbed.
Yeah.
Like they saw it on the camera.
Or he just like annoyed an executive and they were like, put him in the packet. Right. But anyway, yeah, it's a never ending journey of bureaucracy stomping him down.
The good news is all the weird shit you have to pick up to make things are totally in his wheelhouse.
Absolutely. He could turn these into a bomb if he needed
Yeah.
Which is good because he's going to be expected to do that.
to. Yeah. And as far as I understand it, that's the show.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Next time.
Roll the outro.
But what are we playing next
Oh, yeah,
time?
Oh, fuck yeah.
What? This is important for those who want to play along at home.
Yeah. If you want to play along at home and be intellectually engaged with our next episode in
We
2
are
weeks'
playing
time.
A Haunted Island, the Frog Adventure game, the Frog Detective game
Yeah.
by Grace Bruxner.
And you are highly encouraged to play that game sometime in the next 2 weeks, so that when we do this, you can be engaged in the conversation.
I have on good authority it is both funny, cheap, and short.
So
You guys want to say your socials one more time, just for the exit? Just one last little. Just
I don't
plug
do
it.
that. These guys do.
At
but yeah.
Bad Playstyle on Twitter, badplaystyle@gmail.com.
You can catch us at shame.club or shame.business.
Sweet. Thanks, everybody.
Later.
Now we're gonna dance.
Are we gonna?